Field and Fork Network started back in 2008 as a way to connect more buyers to more growers and vice versa. We were meant to be a catalyst to increase the local food economy and make agriculture more of an economic driver here. I'm Lisa French. I'm the co-founder and executive director of Field and Fork Network. Starting in 2009, we used to host annual conferences in the region where we would invite local farmers and local food buyers and chefs to primarily network, but we would also offer some workshops to try to facilitate business-to-business relationships between the two entities. After doing that for a few years, we came to the realization that there was definitely a lot of demand. We had a lot of large institutional buyers and a lot of small-scale growers. It was really apparent that they weren't going to be able to organically do business together, that there was some missing infrastructure that we needed to help kind of facilitate and make happen so the two entities could actually do business together, which led us to doing a plan, doing a feasibility study for what type of business should exist to help fill that gap.
We didn't assume that we needed a food hub in Western New York, but once we identified that the market would support it and wanted it, we had funding to support a business plan. My name is Cheryl Thayer, and I work for Cornell Cooperative Extension, Harvest, New York. Field and Fork had been trying to spearhead a food hub in Western New York for quite some time. We had an interest in advancing that effort with her, so we got together and we started to seek funding to support the development of a food hub.
The next step is understanding what exists in the landscape, both on the supply and demand side, as well as infrastructure that already exists. I'm Kathy Nyquist. I founded New Venture Advisors. We found each other because Field and Fork was having a conference, and I emailed Lisa French and I said, I help to start food hubs. If you'd like me to come and speak, I'd be delighted to create a session. She immediately got back to me and said, I know about your work and I'd love for you to come because, believe it or not, we are thinking about starting a food hub in our region.
Buyers and growers were surveyed extensively. Follow-up interviews were conducted and they were led by our consultant, New Venture Advisors, and the data indicated that a food hub would be supported, buyers would buy from it. That's ultimately what decided go to move forward with food hub business planning.
We had incredible engagement from both farmers and buyers. We had over, I think, 160 farmers fill out surveys, come to meetings, give us feedback. And same on the buying side, we had close to 50 buyers engaged in the process, telling us what they needed and how they needed it, and really, helping us quantify, okay, what is their demand? Give us dollars. Tell us what the opportunity is.
Distributing food, it is a very low margin, high volume business. And to get to the volume you need to break even takes a lot of effort.
Well, I've been involved in this for over 40 years, and I've been waiting for something like the concept of the food hub to come along.
The food hub basically was designed to help smaller or medium-sized farms bring their product to a centralized location so they can concentrate on growing their produce.
Personally, I like growing the stuff and picking the produce. I'm not big on marketing it.
The food hub is bringing in product from many growers and distributing it to a much broader spectrum than what we are seeing here on a small farm.
A food hub can get a product in that was picked this morning and then turn it around by the next day.
Consumers are getting very smart these days, and they're looking for a very diverse plate of product coming from all the different directions. And you know what, we're able to establish that with some good growers and communications and growing the best product for them.
It just helps with the networking, having a food hub just to give that availability to get some of these unique and different items to whether it's a local supermarket or another restaurant. You can go to the food hub and find almost anything that's grown in Western New York. I simply type in what I want and they take care of the other billing and the paperwork with the individual grower.
As a grocery store, it is challenging to buy from local growers and producers because you have to make lots of phone calls. The Western New York Food Hub just makes that so much easier.
And I think the idea behind the food hub has just opened up doors that wouldn't have been opened up otherwise.
Leading the effort to create the Western New York Food Hub was certainly a huge milestone for us as an organization. In terms of the future, I still think there's a tremendous amount of opportunity to have the hub really continue to fill that gap between small and mid-sized growers and allowing them entree into the wholesale market. I think the demand continues to increase across this whole region, and I think it really is an opportunity to keep, those multiple hundreds of millions of dollars of produce that gets sold and keep it here in the community.